How's it going, Corrigan?
Doing pretty well there, Mark. How about yourself?
Excellent. In particular, so what? In late February, New Jersey. How's the weather over there right now?
Wild. We had a lot of snow yesterday, whipping in all different directions. It was
Okay,
incredible, but it's also been very springy at
nice.
some points. It's kind of hard to gauge, but it's very cold right now.
So quite changeable, yeah. Quite
Yeah. Oh man. By the minute.
volatile, shall we say?
Extremely. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put it into a lot of perspective for you, a lot of context for you. I'm going to make your weather sound way more chilled, if
Ooh.
you will, by comparing it to a day in early March, quite a long time ago, right? 1876.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time, but come back with me, if you will, to early March 1876 to an area of Kentucky, Bath County in Kentucky.
Okay.
All right. Visualize for me, if you will,
Mm.
cool spring morning, clear
Mhm.
skies, a nice chill breeze, perfectly pleasant, perfectly temperate.
That sounds
Uh,
lovely.
Picture for me, if you will, Mrs. Crouch.
Okay.
Mrs. Crouch of Bath County, Kentucky, working in her garden, making soap. She's making her own soap
I love
for
a
her.
homemade soap.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Hear for me the breeze through the trees, if you will.
Mm.
Maybe a bird call on the wind. And imagine for me, if you would, the heavy, wet, slapping noise as out of fucking nowhere, covering the 5,000 square feet of Mrs. Crouch's yard, chunks of red meat begin to fall from the sky.
Sorry. Meat.
You heard me. Meat. Chunks of red meat, some as big as 4 fucking square inches.
Like straight up cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Meat. Chunks of meat slapping the
the
ground,
fuck?
being
What?
impaled on her fence, putting dents in her roof.
Oh my God.
Meat storm. Meat rain.
Wow, this is an untapped market for the disaster film industry, that's for sure. What is happening?
Insane. This is Corrigan, the Kentucky meat shower of 1876.
Meat shower.
Bath County in Kentucky.
Bath County meat shower.
Obviously, Mrs. Crouch loses her shit.
Yeah. Is she being
She,
pummeled by meat as this is happening?
oh, she, well, absolutely. She has to take cover. All thoughts of soap making abandoned for that day, I can tell you.
Yeah. Although she's going to need it.
She rushes to her husband. Of course, initially, their first thought is, oh, sign from God.
Yeah, naturally.
It goes on for some minutes, right? Several minutes of solid meat precipitation.
What do you think they thought it was a sign from God of? That's
I know exactly.
I know. What did they run
could he
inside?
be trying to say? I can't. I'm having trouble parsing this one. God, could you be a little clearer?
Send something else. Send pasta.
Good? Is it bad? So look, obviously chaos ensues. People flock to the scene. Neighbors, townsfolk flock to the scene and check this out. Pick up these cubes of meat. Take some to study to check out what's going on, because there's nothing apocryphal or urban legend going on here, right? This has been well documented in the New York Times. Scientific American. This is a actual fucking thing that happened. This isn't an urban legend.
And it's all over town.
It's 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
5,000 square feet. Pretty much the entire Crouch estate covered in fucking chunks, huge chunks of meat.
Okay.
A couple of Kentucky townsfolk actually fried up and fucking ate a piece. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Sky meat seems suspect.
They said it tasted kind of gamey, kind of venison, sort of mutton type of meat. Now, what the fuck is causing this?
I can't even imagine. Because what year? 1871? Is that what we're talking?
1876.
1876. We've got no airplanes. This
Nope.
is not falling out of a plane from somewhere.
Nope.
They're looking up at the sky and they see no source.
Clear skies, blue
skies,
skies, as far as the eye can see. So theories abound, of course, right?
Sure.
After reading about it in the New York Times scientist, a geezer by the name of Leopold Brandes, right? He got hold of a sample of this stuff, took it back to his lab. I imagine him with, like Johnny Depp in Sleepy Hollow. I imagine he's got like those glasses with loads of lenses on and me. All that kind
There's
of thing.
a gentle Danny Elfman score playing as he's looking over the meat.
Now, our boy Leopold, he declared that it wasn't meat at all. He believed that it was a form of bacteria, a kind of cyanobacteria, almost like a kind of an algae called nostoc, right? And this is stuff that when it's dry, it's a kind of a film, like a powdery film. But when you mix it with rainwater, it takes on a kind of a jelly-like consistency. And often you can find it in puddles on the floor, and people make the mistake of thinking it had fallen from the sky, right? So he thinks it was just like a bacterial kind of algae which had mixed with rainwater and become jellified. Obviously,
where would that have come from?
Oh, it's present in soils. You get it. It's all around the place. The only problem with that theory was that it was all total bollocks. There was no rain that day, and there were eyewitnesses. Mrs. Crouch, for fuck's sake, literally saw chunks of meat falling from the sky. This wasn't
she didn't come outside and see puddles and think, did that come from the sky?
She was ducking meat. Yeah. So many more tests. Dr. Mead Edwards analyzed these chunks and concluded they definitely weren't bacteria. They definitely weren't algae. They were 100% flesh. Now,
so I'd just like for you to note that I am keeping my chill right here over you continuously saying algae, despite what you did when I said herb earlier. There are obviously herbs that grow in the wild and things like that. But what?
Herbs? There's obviously herbs.
Wow.
That caught me. That blindsided me.
I'm just saying I'm being very cool about this, and I want you to acknowledge this.
No, please correct me. Algae.
We say algae.
Okay. Potato.
Go on. Okay. Herb and whatever you say.
So, hey, Dr. Edwards, would you like to know what he concluded?
Yeah, tell me what Mead there had to say about it.
He declared that it was lung tissue.
Oh, no, that's
either from a horse or possibly human lung tissue.
The fuck?
Oh, yeah. Gets weirder and weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yet again, another doctor, another analysis concluded that it was definitely lung tissue, but also detected muscle cells, cartilage cells. This is definitely animal meat.
When we say animal, does that include human, or it is a non-human animal?
Possibly. Very possibly human. A local hunter took a look and was convinced it was bear meat.
Okay.
Some said lamb, some said deer. But what was indisputable, the fact of the matter was, for some fucking reason, in 1876, in Bath County in Kentucky, on an otherwise fucking perfectly clear day, Mrs. Crouch's estate was hammered with chunks of undisclosed, undetermined meat from the fucking sky.
And they never figured it out? Oh, okay, there's more. I was like, Mark.
There is. Well, put it like this, right? There's been no conclusive, rock-solid explanation for why the fuck this happened, okay? But there is a prevalent theory which has taken hold and is kind of close to, if not exactly, what has to have happened, right?
Okay.
Proposed a little bit later on in 1876, a Dr. L.D. Castenbind. Now, we've spoken on this very podcast about animal defense mechanisms before.
Oh, we have indeed, yeah.
Do you remember what vultures do as a defense mechanism?
I don't, but I feel like it's really gross. Like they puke or something. Like it's.
Oh, they absolutely do. They vomit. Vultures vomit as a defense mechanism, right? They'll The vultures will vomit at the fucking drop of a hat. You look at a vulture the wrong way.
I relate to them in that way.
Yeah, I knew you would. Vultures will vomit if they've eaten too much and they find themselves too heavy to fly. Right?
Just practical.
They'll just and just offload some of that tasty carrion, and off they'll soar.
A vulture always makes weight.
But well put. But what vultures will always do is they will sometimes vomit in packs.
No, come on.
Yep. So when one vulture vomits, the others in a flock will often just do so as a reflexive.
Also
response.
relatable. This has happened this week on Peacemaker and Righteous Gemstones.
Yes,
and one other thing I was watching. This is okay. So
I noticed that link between Gemstones and
puking.
Peacemaker as well. Lots of spearing.
It's in the zeitgeist right now.
Kentucky is home to both the black vulture and the turkey vulture. Both species.
Lucky Kentucky.
Yeah. Which have been seen to engage in group vomiting. And the most commonly believed notion, right, is that for some reason something startled a flock of vultures high above the skies in Kentucky. A mass vulture vomiting event took place, leading to cubes of unidentified meat to pepper Mrs. Crouch and her estate.
And then people ate it. Oh, Jesus.
Some gung-ho, I'll name your meat, fried it up. And this isn't proven, by the way, right? This is just this is Occam's razor, I guess.
Good an explanation as any.
Yep.
Because also, like, if you were getting meat vomited at you on the ground, I imagine you look up briefly and then you're like, meat in my face, and you turn away. So Corrigan, you've done it again, haven't you? But you wouldn't be then looking for the source of the birds or whatever.
I'd be out of there. I'd be gone.
You'd be out. So the idea that there's a flock up there and she didn't see it isn't unbelievable, because you wouldn't be staring up and letting meat fall in your eyes.
Exactly. One chunk, the first chunk of space meat, and I'm gone. But there it is. Something similar also happened some time later in London.
Really?
Yes, which I would find more difficult to explain. You won't get vultures in London, I don't believe.
Oh, really?
No, certainly not.
Guess I've never thought about it before.
There you go, Corrigan. You are now fully up to speed on the Kentucky meat shower of 1876.
It's really gross, but
as are
I'm
you,
definitely going to tell people about it.